Get a quick startup on the R32. See how this thing sounds like. Miltech exhaust. Okay, maybe it's not cold. I think my dad actually just brought it back from a trip, but Mark 5 R32. I don't think we've ever shared it on the channel, but here it is. Pretty much completely bone stock. Outside, just some BBS LMs that we refinished recently. Oh, damn, fast guy. Front Cooper lip. Just small, subtle aesthetic things. It's also got air suspension as well. We got the rear spoiler, air management up top on the cargo cover. Yeah, this thing just always looking clean. This is one of the cleaner Mark 5 R32s I've seen out there, especially here in the north where the salt hits and everything. Another generation is infamous for the rust on the rockers and the front fenders, but not this one. This one has always been really well kept. But today we're actually going to be bringing in another car to the garage, so let's go pick it up. All right, here we are. We finally made it. The Mark II. Let's see if it starts up. We have not touched this thing since we dropped it off. Oh shoot. Huh. Crank no start? What's going on? Let's hope this thing isn't gonna start now. What? Okay, that's strange. Let's pop the hood and see what's going on. So of course something always has to happen. The car did not start. Don't know what it is. I don't have scanner, I don't have tools or anything like that. I expected it to start since we bought the car, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago. That day we test drove it, started it up, turned it off, started back up multiple times, no issues. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head back to the garage, pick up some tools. My dad's gonna come with. We're gonna try to get it running, try to get it to the garage today. All right, so we are back. Made it back to the garage. It's really strange. When we went to give the car a second go over there at the other garage, my dad was checking. Well, we checked for gas, for fuel first, and we disconnected the hose. The hose had pressure, so we knew it wasn't any fuel-related issues. And then I think my dad disconnected one of the ignition cables.
Yeah, we're checking for a spark, so I just disconnected the cable, and well, you crank it, so it's fire right up. So we obviously had spark.
It was weird. Yeah, it turned on right away.
Yeah. So I think what I found the problem. We still have to dig more into it, but I think I found one of the issues. Well, the car, first of all, the car didn't have an OBD2 port, and I just make something, luckily I had an extra OBD2 port. I had one. I kind of just fast wire it, and then I was able to read the codes. And what I found, it was a crank position sensor.
Cam. The cam or the crank?
Oh, the cam, sorry. The cam position sensor short to ground. So I just come and, inspect it. But also I noticed it was leaking a little bit of coolant when I was here. I was looking into it.
Yeah, that was first. That was the first thing.
That was the first thing, I would look into it, and I was, and then I went to see if it was just the clamp that was a little bit loose and something or something. So while I move it, I just wiggle it a little bit and pop right up, and it kind of burned the whole thing, So luckily we had another one.
The auxiliary water pump on these?
Yes, for the heaters. This is for the heater mainly. But I think the issue is what's happening, if we can see in this one, it's full of oil, and obviously should not be like that. So that's why it was shoring. I think it was shoring, and obviously caused the ECU to malfunction and not to start.
Also the misfire. The slight misfire wasn't running that good.
So I think that's kind of what I think it is. Obviously we still have to. We just put another sensor that we had in there. So we gotta put it together. I'm gonna connect the OBD2 port. Just wire it up right. So other than that, it looks good. We're just beginning, so we still don't know.
Yeah.
What we're gonna be getting into it. So.
Yeah, for those of you watching the video first time, we picked up this car, Mark II GLI. I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, something like that.
We did in the Thanksgiving Day. Before Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, so it's been
Wednesday.
It's been a month then.
Yeah.
It's been a month since we picked up this car. It was a great deal, local to us. We had to go check it out. It was up on Facebook. We had to go see it for ourselves, and we liked it. We liked what we saw. We decided to pick it up. The owner wasn't even there. The actual owner wasn't there. It was the detailer who was gonna detail this car for him, gonna give it a paint correction and a good cleaning all around. He was the guy we were dealing with, so we weren't even talking to the owner. We didn't really know much. And the guy didn't even, the detailer, he had a VW, but he didn't really know anything about the old school stuff like this. So it was it was kind of a strange transaction. We didn't really know, we don't know anything about the car, no history about it or anything. So we really just went off of what we knew about these cars, what to look out for. And I mean, it seems all right so far. We drove it an hour and a half back home. It wasn't too bad. It's got a bunch of good parts. Whoever built this car definitely knows what they were doing. They know they knew about these cars for sure.
Yes, I think it's gonna clean up nice.
Yeah, definitely
It's an old car. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not like it's been resprayed or anything, but it's gonna look nice.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, it's a good project car. It's a solid car. So, I mean, whoever wins it, decide they want a daily driver or they want to, make a project off of it, or even the way it it looks nice.
Yeah, it is. It looks great when it's rolling. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Nice stance, nice wheels. Paint shines, still glossy. It looks really good. And I don't know why, but the side mirrors, it just makes it look different too.
We gotta fix something.
I like it. It looks nice, but man, it's not fun to drive.
It sucks when you're driving it. Like, I forget that I didn't have mirrors when I was driving it in the way home.
Yeah.
So it was like I just looking like, what the heck? I want to switch lanes. So I just have to kind of wait and just kind of turn my whole head and see if I was clear so I can turn.
Yeah, especially like driving here in Chicago. Sometimes you want to make a quick lane, change of lane. Real quick, you just check your side mirrors. But you can't do that in this one.
That's what I tried to do.
If you live like in the middle of nowhere.
We were driving through traffic, so that's what I tried to do. And I couldn't. It was like, okay.
Yeah, you just wait.
I'm gonna wait and make sure it's all clear.
Yeah, it would be nice if you live like in a farm or somewhere where it's only one lane and then you don't have to worry about it. But not here. But I like how it looks. It's narrow with no mirrors, and then it's got the wide flares with the G60s up front. I
noticed that. It's got G60. I didn't even notice when we picked it up. They had the G60 flares.
I noticed that. It looks good. It looks cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're just going to keep messing with this thing. Going to get the gauges working first, and then we'll see where we go from there. So, let's get to it. All right, so now with the engine completely put back together, we got the ignition coils connected. We happen to have a camshaft position sensor laying around because we used to have so many 12 valve VR6 parts in here, all the engines that were coming in and out for the longest time, but unfortunately not anymore. It seems like it's more 3.2 and 3.6 liter now, but still had those parts laying around, thankfully. Got that on. And over here, my dad, I don't think I've mentioned this. We haven't mentioned this. My dad's working over here on the gauges for the that the car was running with the what is that center console called? The it's called the Voltex center console. Yeah, it had the gauges on there, but they just didn't work for some odd reason. They were just sitting there, weren't even plugged in or anything. So
they didn't have anything. So I'm just trying to make things work with the harness, with some custom lights in here, and just try to make it work.
Let me see this side. Pretty standard gauges. Oil pressure, temperature, and voltage. These are the OEM ones from like a like a Mark 1 Cabriolet or something like that. They came with these gauges. Yep. We're just trying to get the important things knocked out first, like gauges. That's essential, especially in a car like an older car with an engine swap. Essentially, you want to know your oil pressure at all times. Keep attention to that. So we want to get that going for this car. And one more thing. We also noticed the clutch master cylinder is leaking on this. I noticed it yesterday when we went to pick up the car. I looked underneath, checked the fuses. I noticed that some liquid was coming out of the master, and there's really no other liquids that run through there, so that has to be the issue.
Is that one down there?
That one back there. So, for those of you that hasn't seen it.
Fortunately, it's not too bad. It's right there.
Yeah, that was telling me this is the. This one's out of a Passat, so it's a little bit easier to remove than the Mark 3s that are
The Mark IIIs, they have like a little ball in the back.
You gotta push it in.
Yeah, that's trouble with that one. This one, it's a lot easier.
It's like a pin? Just a sliding pin?
That one is just a pin, so.
Nice, okay.
This will be a lot
Should
easier.
be good.
2 13s and the hose.
Yeah.
The 2 hoses and
Yep.
and the clip inside, and that should do it.
Yeah. Little things like that. Maybe we're gonna mess with the wiring, readjust the wiring, fix it, tidy up a little bit.
Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, tidy it up, wrap it, make sure it's all wrapped. Just make the engine bay look a lot better than it is now. It's definitely a lot of room for improvement, and after that, it's definitely gonna need a wash. All right, so we got a big update for you guys. I've actually haven't been in the garage the past few days. Still recovering from the flu. I'm still slowly getting my voice back, but my dad's been making a ton of progress on this thing. The last thing where we left off was with the clutch master cylinder. We're actually still waiting for that part. Fortunately, nobody had it in stock, so we had to order it, and it should be here tomorrow. So that's really the last piece that we're waiting for right now before we can get the car running. So I'm gonna pass you guys over to my dad. He can show you guys what he's been doing the past few days.
Well, we've been working in the. We found a couple of things that we needed to address. We mentioned the clutch master cylinder, but while we were in there, we noticed the booster was really with a lot of corrosion and stuff. It looked really bad. So we went ahead and sand it down, paint it, make it look better. We touch up a couple of things here and there, like this bracket was a little bit of corrosion and stuff. So we touch it up to make it look better. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was. And that way we know it's going to last longer. Also, we clean up under the battery. Was a little bit of corrosion as well. We'll clean it up. We hit it with the rust encapsulator, which is supposedly the best thing out there to prevent or to stop the rust. So that's what we want with this kind of cars. So far, the other thing we noticed that we didn't see it before, and we haven't mentioned it really. We found the radiator. He had some sort of corrosion building up.
Turn off the light.
Like that. And also down there in the corner, like you can see, it's already a bit wet. So I know eventually it was gonna give us a problem. So might as well. We went ahead and sourced another radiator, put it on, and now it's looking good. And this is a Mark III VR6 radiator. And yeah, that's the improvements we've been doing. We got the radiator all hooked up, all connected. I got the wiring sorted out. A few things here and there. We work in the headlights as well, and things like that. Fog lights works now. What's the other thing I've been working on? Oh, the interior. Like I got all the gauges connected. The lighter wasn't even connected as well, so I'm connecting the wiring for the lighter. So when you want to charge your phone, you gotta have something. So that's been wired up. What else? Oh, I found didn't have a speakers in the dashboard, and it doesn't really have a speakers in the door. So I went and find 2 speakers for the dashboard and connected those. It come with a radio, but we didn't have the actual face for the radio.
Bring the light on your show.
We yeah, we'll show you here. I mean, it's a mess still, but it's work in progress. So now it's all. We were lucky that this connector in the radio they wasn't there before. It was an Alpine, so I had this one sitting around, and it still works. So this is what we've been using. I mean, we're gonna be using, because it was already connected. Everything was already wired up. So same plug, what it was before. And you can see the gauges now, they're in place. I mean, I'm still working in it, making sure they're going to be fine. Then I can tie everything together. Again, I have a mess with the wiring. I'm still have to connect a couple of wires, but we should be done soon. And then we can put everything back together. So it's been a couple of long days with all these wiring. Figured it out which one works and all that kind of stuff. But now seems like we got everything sorted out. We just have to put some coolant in it, run the car, make sure the gauges work, like the cluster mainly. Make sure these gauges are all rating correctly, and then we go. We move on to the next. The
Why'd you
cluster
take the
wasn't
cluster?
running.
Oh, the cluster wasn't
Remember,
working?
there was not. It was just the gas.
Nothing worked?
Only the gas and can't remember if it was the speedometer or RPM, something.
They
But it
already had
was
the
only
Mark III,
two.
right? Or the Mark III cluster.
Yeah, the Mark III cluster, which is already here. This one, but I know we have a couple other ones, so we're gonna try them on and find one that works.
Yeah.
We're moving forward with this thing slowly but surely. So yeah, hopefully we get the slip cylinder tomorrow. Put that in, bleed the clutch, finish it up, tight it up, and the next thing I wanna give a really good clean in the engine compartment before we take this car to the next shop to get a detail. We want to buff it and clean it, make it look good. So I want to take it to the professionals over there to get it all cleaned up and nice. But I don't really trust them with the engine because I know these cars are a little finicky with that kind of stuff. So I want to do it myself. And I know they don't really like to do the engine base either. So kind of win-win situation right there. So
Like all these little things, the interior, the engine bay, the wiring, like it takes up a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to do this kind of thing. That's why we don't even, sometimes you don't even want to take in jobs like this because they take such a long time.
Yeah, the details are where it takes the most time. But
yeah, we already have, I want to say, you already have like 6 days into
6 days,
thing?
yeah.
Full afternoons.
Yeah, I mean,
so
when we got the car, seems like it was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be nice, it's gonna be everything looks all right and stuff. But once you start digging into it, you find those little things.
Yeah, and you look at the car, you feel like nothing's even.
Yeah, I mean, the car was drivable and everything, but it was like those little things that we noticed they were not right, and we just want to do it better.
Yeah,
there's the thing. Like we could have leave it the way it was, and a few things like the cases wouldn't matter if it worked or not.
The radio.
We could have just focused on the cluster, get that working, and call it a day. But
yeah,
I mean, we're trying to do something good in here. So I mean, the car will not be perfect. That's what I want to make the point. It will not be perfect. It's an old car. This is our first giveaway. So but for sure we want to have a car that is going to be able to make trips and run fine. That's the main thing. Like drive it at night, drive it everywhere. Like have working turn signals, headlights, wipers. Like make a good daily driver if somebody wants to daily.
It's a perfect daily.
Yeah. So car still looks pretty good. Well, I think once we get it all buffed out and all detailed, I think it's going to look really good.
All right, now with the radiator situation figured out and everything, we got the hoses connected on. We also got the front end now. Everything's bolted in now as it should be. It had a bunch of different bolts holding on the front end, but we figured that out, fixed that. Now it's got all the same bolts everywhere, thankfully. So whenever someone has to take off this front end, it's not going to be a headache. But my dad actually, he replaced all the bulbs with LEDs. He replaced the low beams as well as the turn signal. So let me show you guys those real quick. Turn them on. There's the turn signals, hazards. How about the low beams? There we go, low beams. Shine pretty good. Yeah. And there's the fog lights as well. So
Blinkers working?
There's the blinkers too.
They're working?
Yeah.
Brake works too.
Yep. Brakes work. Thankfully, the car already had some headlights in really, really good condition. These are actually E-codes as well, which that means that the housings that are inside, they're black, so they look great with the black car. And then, if you guys also notice, that lower trim piece on the grill, the Badger's grill, it used to be gray, but now my dad painted it black, so slowly looking a lot better. And after that, we just gave it a quick check on the suspension. Everything seemed pretty solid. Everything seemed good. Bushings are fine. No dry rot or anything. Tie rods seem like they're in good shape. No leaks from the struts either. So suspension is great. Everything seems fine. Like when we drove it drove really nice. So that should be all right.
We didn't notice any leaks under the engine either. So
no leaks.
looks clean. Looks right.
That's good.
whatever, I spill a little bit of coolant over here, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it looks dry, so which is a good thing.
Yeah. So now the car can pretty much put it back on the ground now, finally, after the past few days. But first thing I want to do, one thing. Before we do that, I want to try on these wheels right here that I've been refinishing. Actually, a set of E-Toil J, what are these? 55B, E-Toil 55Bs right here.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, that's a model right there. E-Toil, pretty old school brand, back in like the 80s or something like that. Pretty old wheels, but brought them back to life. They're looking immaculate now, looking really good. The powder coated face, new black hardware. The inner barrel's even powder coated as well. So
New hardware, new bolts, new nuts.
yeah, new bolts and new nuts. So really, really nice. We're gonna be selling these. They're gonna be out for sale. So keep an eye out on the EV Garage page. We're gonna be posting them on there. If you guys are interested, check them out. So these are 5x130. So it's gonna be perfect for these since this car already has a 5x130 adapter. So let's see how they look on there. Car's back on the ground now. As you guys can see, we got the E-Toils on there. They actually suit the car really, really nicely with the black hardware, and the silver just pops. The black paint, black color scheme going on with the car. Look really nice on there. Fitment's pretty much dialed in as well. We got, that's the front fitment, and then check out the rear. The rear is perfect, I would say. Flush fitment, and then the front could maybe use I would say maybe a 5 millimeter larger adapter. These I want to say are around 20 millimeter adapters, and they just suit the car perfectly. Wish we could keep them on there. That would be cool if they could stay on the car, but I mean, these wheels, we'd have to ask a lot more for the car. We'd have to sell a lot more entries. I think for these wheels I'm going to be asking $2,200 for them as they sit. Only thing I'm waiting for is the emblems, the center caps that are going to go right here in the middle. They're gonna be black with the just a standard Porsche emblem on there. So if you have a black car, they would just look as nice as this one. Yeah, they suit the car. They look really nice on the Mark II, even like a Mark III.
Keep in mind a couple of things. This car is running G60 players in the front, which are a little wider.
That too.
And also you're running a 5x100 ball pattern, which that means your control arm it's a little bit wider, and also it's a little the control arms are a little wider, so that the wheel sticks out a little more. So the fitment it might change in another 4x100 car.
That's true.
So keep that in mind. This car is running 5x100 ball pattern, which is
the front and rear.
The front end, the control arms.
The rear too. The rear axle's wider too, right?
I think
like 10 millimeters, something
10
like 10 millimeters.
Yeah,
it's a small.
It's very small, but the front one is different.
So
They
15.
say different. So, with this wheel and this adapter, the way it is, you can, when you do the listing, you can provide the information better. But if you really consider running stock Archers and 4x100, so I think that fitment will be perfect with those adapters.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this is a little wider with the fitment and also running G60 Archers.
Yeah. I don't have the offsets yet. I haven't measured them. So I do know that there are 7.5 in the front and 9s in the back, 16-inch diameter. So
yeah, beautiful.
just so you guys can get an idea. Yeah, they come out really good. They come out good. Like a Mark I, they would look really, really nice too.
Oh yeah.
On the Mark I, they would look wild.
Yeah, that face mounted, it looks really nice.
Yeah, face mounted looks really good.
With the black balls and now with the black center caps, they're gonna be nice.
Yeah, they can look great. But yeah, there it is, guys. Cars.
And silver color goes with any color pretty much. It's a very friendly, like that color goes with anything. You know, any car you put them on silver wheels, they're always gonna look good.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with those.
That's gonna close it off for this one. We'll keep you guys updated with all the how we're gonna be doing the raffle or the giveaway. The giveaway, we're gonna call it a giveaway.
Now let's just do it the right way.
Yep.
We're gonna be, well, should I say or not?
What?
The merch you've been working on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll throw it up there. Keep an eye. We're gonna be having T-shirts keychains for now, just to see how it does, and that's how we're gonna be pretty much doing the giveaway. We're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna uh, pretty much give you a t-shirt or buy a t-shirt, and that will give you a chance to enter the giveaway, or even a keychain and hoodies also as well. I think. Have
Yeah,
some
and I have
hoodies,
hats as well.
hats.
Probably do like a sticker pack or something, like with a bunch of different. But we're gonna have a few things.
We're gonna
We're gonna try. Yeah, the first time, so we're not gonna have that many things. But as time goes on, we'll keep adding more things to it. And what else we're gonna do?
Well, one more thing I wanna remind you guys. This is like the beginning of something. If it works out, it's gonna be something good, something big. I think I mentioned that before. This car is gonna be nice and everything. It's not perfect, but if everything works out and we keep growing this, we're gonna be doing better quality builds. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be doing like the white car, like the other cars you have seen in the channel. You know, like Charlie's car, like that type of caliper cars.
This car right
So
here.
this car is gonna be
Can't
insane
even
as
see it.
well. But once it's done, you guys gonna see it. So that's the plan. That's how we. This is just the beginning. If everything works out and we get the support and everything, maybe that's our future. That's the way we wanna go. So keep an eye out.
Yeah, keep you guys updated. We should have all the merchandise, all the stuff we ordered within the next 2 weeks, hopefully. So once we get that in, we can take pictures. We can finally start promoting it and everything. But for now, that's pretty much all the information we can give out. We don't really.
Yeah.
We
We're still
just
working on
we got
details.
samples. We got samples, but once the bulk order comes in, we'll definitely start getting the word out there. So keep an eye out for that.
The
What?
next video we're gonna have more content with this thing, running and then probably the detail and all that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out for the next one.
Yeah. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.